Pisces, welcome to Yellow Cardinal Tarot. My name's Carol, and this is your reading for the second half of February. If you haven't had a chance to see my first reading for February 2024, it'll be linked in, I'll link it at the end actually. So in this video, we're going to be looking at what I'm calling the Yellow Cardinal Cross. So in the number 1 position, I'm going to look at the issue that you're dealing with right now, whether it's a problem, it's a pattern for you that's showing up, it's a struggle. And then I'm going to clarify that number 2 with another card. And I want to see if there's a card that's going to sort of have an impact on what the issue is. It's going to clarify number 1 or obscure the issue a bit. Number 3 position is the conscious influence. And that means this is the influence that you're aware of that's affecting or influencing this issue. And then on the right is going to be the unconscious influence. And that's going to be what's coming up in your shadow. And it's not what you're aware of because we don't know what's in your shadow. 5 on the top is going to be the card that's going to tell you what is needed for resolution for this situation that you're in. Number 6 on the bottom is going to be the resolution. It's going to be the understanding. So I think what it is probably going to be is a bit of guidance from the tarot. And yeah, so I'm hoping this helps with you as we close off the last 2 weeks in February. So let's begin. And so I'm going to ask the tarot for the issue at hand that you're dealing with. The issue at hand that you're dealing with. Okay, so 1 card for the issue, please, for Pisces. Ooh, I'm going to pick this first one here that came out, which was the 10 of Wands for you. That is issue number 1. And then I want to get to, just going to fix this right here. All right, and then I want number 2 is what's clarifying the 10 of Wands or obscuring those 10 of Wands. Oh, 2 cards here. The 3 of Swords in reverse. Interesting. I can see that coming out because I'm looking at your, yeah, I'll talk about that in a minute. So yeah, in February, sorry, the reading I did for you in the beginning of February, it was called You Already Know the Answer. And I'm seeing this interesting how it's kind of a follow-up to that. Okay, so what is the conscious influence for this issue? So what are you aware of? What are you aware of, this issue that you're dealing with right now? What are you aware of consciously that you're dealing with? The Justice card is what you're aware of. The unconscious influence right now. What's coming out in your shadow? That one turned up. I just flipped it. It's the Ace of Wands in reverse. And what's needed for resolution? 1 card, please. What's needed for resolution? I'm going to pick the first card that came out, which was the 3 of Pentacles. And finally, number 6, what is the resolution? What's the understanding, please? And there's 2 here, and I don't want 2. What is the understanding? There it is for Pisces, and that is the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. Okay. So let's look at this. Put that devil back in the card. He wanted to come out, that devil. Well, he did flip up, but he didn't come out. He didn't fly out. Okay, so what I've done for you is, I did this in your last reading for February, the beginning of February. I went to your 2024 yearly reading, which is linked in my description box. And I pulled out the February card that you have in that reading, and it was Judgment. And Judgment is all about feeling that nudge from the universe to do something. And that's the intuitive nudge that comes in. Our intuitive nudge is like a whisper. And it's not loud, it's not screaming at us, it's not desperate. And it doesn't go away, but it's just quiet. It's like, oh, I think I want to do this. And then you let it go for a bit, and then it comes back again, very quiet. That's the intuitive nudge. And you're feeling that in this card right now in February. Something that wants to, birth itself, come to be in the month of February. So, yeah. And let's see what you have here. So here it is. Here are these 10 of Wands that definitely, you're ready to take your life. You're ready to take those wands that, you know that you need to do something. You want to take your life in a different direction. And, I think there's a part of you that there's this resistance to really keeping them down. And I mean, it's just a big resistance in you. And, you can't keep, this is like holding these helium balloons down. They're going to take off. And these wands want to take off, but there's a resistance to taking off. And I said that in your last reading that you have the answer. You know the answer. But this is what's obscuring, this is what's sort of clarifying this whole thing, is that there's some pain here that's coming out for you. And it's related to your issue of this, what you want to do. And so this is what's really preventing you from taking that final step and doing it. And I find sometimes when you're just on the edge of doing something that you want to do new for yourself, you need to just, sometimes these belief systems start coming in our head, and we start second guessing ourselves, and we really need to just maybe feel what's going on here. There's something here that's really preventing you from taking that final step of doing what you want to do here. And so I think there's some feeling that needs to be done. There may be some pain attached to it. So, because what you're aware of is the Justice. And this is a general reading. And the Justice card is kind of wanting to make things right. And the Justice card has this balance here of, balancing things out. And it also has this sword of truth, right? And so I see here that you're wanting to make things right first. And you're realizing that there's something that you want to make right about this situation first. And that's what you're aware of. Because what's coming up for you in your unconscious is the Ace of Wands. And the Ace of Wands in reverse. The Ace is a new offer from the universe. It's a gift. It's saying, okay, here's your wand. Here's your creative wand. This creative wand is, getting in touch with our intuition. Really feeling, getting still, getting quiet, and to really get back into our bodies and start to feel what it is that we need to know. Maybe it's what we need to know about to get back to the truth here. But there is a resistance to doing that. There is a resistance to taking that wand and to take your life in that new direction. And this seems to be what's coming out a lot at the end of February, where you're coming up against a lot of resistance here to take that wand and to go into that direction that you've been really wanting to take your life into. And sometimes, the resolution, or what's needed for the resolution, is I think you need to ask for some help. This is what the Three of Pentacles is all about. The Three of Pentacles is all about working in collaboration. You see these three individuals who are working together. And whatever help that may be. If it's a new project you want to get going, if it's just some extra help that you need, somebody to talk things out with. And so it could be to ask somebody for help for, to deal with some of these second guessing or emotions that are coming up. maybe getting back into some therapy or getting into therapy if you've never done it before. Some of us have never done it before. And, you know, I think there's this belief system, and I hope it's not a belief system anymore. But, you know, if we get into therapy, then we're weak. That means we're weak, but it's not what it means. Sometimes you just need that other person to talk to. And so this is telling me that you need you need to get some help somehow. Either ask somebody to help you with what you want to do, or ask someone to talk it out, you know, because it looks like you need some help getting at some emotions here that have to do with some belief systems about yourself in order to finally take this, do what it is that you're thinking about doing. And finally, the last card that comes up here is the Knight of Pentacles, and the Knight of Pentacles is in reverse, and the resolution of the understanding. So my knights in my deck are my what I call my freedom fighters. They're the adolescent part of us. So there's an adolescent part of you, and that's like a teenager part of you that just wants to be free. And so this is saying, you know, what part of your life here, because this is really blocked, and it's a pentacle. So, and pentacle is all about, you know, getting back into your body, or pentacles is all about your health, and pentacles is all about your workspace, you know. And so I'm wondering where can you find, there's this freedom for you that has to do with your health, that has to do with the workspace you're in, that has to do with, you know, just getting in touch with who you are. We talk this card, the Justice card over here, but it's really blocked. And so I'm wondering where in your life that you can take on, you need some freedom in order to do what you need to do. It sounds like you're needing some real freedom. You're wanting this freedom to do what you want to do in a certain area of your life. And what part of your life can free up you to be able to just take that one little step. And the one little step that you need to take is to free yourself up, right? Because this part of you is really wanting to be free to do what you want to do, but it's right now there's some blockage here, and sometimes when that's blocked, it can bring up some real anger. So maybe you need to deal with some anger that's coming up because you can't do this, whatever it is you want to do. Or maybe it's maybe you're sitting with some real hopelessness, and that again, that requires some journaling, to journal from that anger and to journal from, you know, what's blocking you from doing this, where you don't have the freedom, where you know you don't have the freedom. And so where can you free yourself up? And if it means you have to, you know, deal with some of your anger and deal with some of the hopelessness that you're sitting in because you can't seem to do this, you know, you can't seem to get it going and turning in a different direction here. So yeah, I would, you know, think about doing some journaling from those emotions that are blocking, you know, this project or whatever it is that you want to do in your life. So good luck, Pisces, with this, and I'll see you next month. Bye-bye.